Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be testing some new makeup. I already tested one of these palettes on my channel. It was the new MAC Connect and Color palettes. I tested the larger one. I did pick up two, and I did promise that when I posted that video I was going to put up a video of the second palette. So I want to try this on camera. I have actually already tried this, but I think these are tremendous. And if you guys were eyeing these, because they are now back at Ulta, when they came for a minute. Ulta probably released them before they were supposed to, and then they took them down immediately, but not before I got my hands on two of the palettes. Then they just recently brought them back. So I've been seeing that they've been getting good reviews. I can tell you that these are tremendous. I have been trying so many new eyeshadow palettes lately. These are honestly some of the best ones that I've tried all year, and I haven't really talked about them, and I've really been enjoying them kind of behind the scenes. So I did the warmer toned version on camera. I want to do the smaller palette, which is like the cooler toned Color Story. So I want to do that. Some of the other new makeup releases, this is like drugstore and high-end, and it's a mix between Ulta and Sephora. I did pick up one of the new L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour fresh wear blushes. I got a pretty vibrant shade. A lot of these are pretty vibrant, so I want to try this on camera. I really like the bronzer. I thought about trying the bronzer today, but I'm still testing out a new one from Danessa Myricks. This is one of the color fixes. This is from the Nudes collection, so I thought I would test this again on camera, just give it another shot. I also have the new Natasha Denona concealer. I also bought the corrector. Have tried this, have a video on that as well, but I'm still testing this formula out. I do not want to try the corrector. If you're interested in seeing my thoughts, check out my channel. I'm not a huge fan of the corrector, but I think the concealer is pretty good. Another release from Danessa Myricks was the Line Work eyeliner. I want to give this another shot. Used it once, love it as well. I have one of the NARS Afterglow Central Shine lipsticks. Ritual Defy launched a new foundation. It's called the 3-Drop Weightless Foundation. I do have a dedicated video on this on my channel, but I'm also still testing it out. That's pretty much it, you guys, so let's hop right into it. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Give Beauty had a couple of new releases. She's also got like a cream contour slash bronzer and half powder, and she's got some highlighters coming out, so I will be testing those. But before she launched those, she launched the Line It Up 24-hour gel pencil eyeliner. I have tried this on my channel as well. I'm not a huge fan of this, at least the one time that I did try it, so I'm trying to give it another shot. So I will be using this in today's video, but that is it. I want to do the eyeshadows first. So let's look over this Color Story. These are called the Connect and Color eyeshadow palettes. This particular Color Story is embedded in burgundy. I believe that they have 3 Color Stories in the larger palettes, and I think 4 in the smaller ones. I can never remember, and I said that in my last video as well. The large palette is the warmer Color Story, so I used this one just so that I could test more of the colors. Eyeshadow formula, you guys, superb. It is so good. I have not tried an eyeshadow formula from MAC in probably 10 years. And like the last eyeshadow I had was like one of the single potted shadows. It was a darker color, so you couldn't really wear it on its own. It was okay, but I just didn't remember how it performed. So I wasn't sure what to expect with these. And I thought I saw like a lot of mixed comments on Instagram when these first launched at like, oh, MAC is mostly packaging, but I can tell you, these are great. These are some of the most blendable mattes that I have in my collection. They don't overblend, they blend together great. They look really sophisticated. They just perform perfectly, in my opinion. I think the shimmers are probably on the lighter side. They don't have a whole lot of light reflection to them, but the eye look itself that I've been able to create every single time has been super sophisticated and just really good quality overall. By the way, you guys, it's hot. Like here, I'm in Florida. I don't know if it's hot like where you guys live, but it is that time of year, so my hair's up. Is anybody like super hot? It was literally like 100 degrees when I got in my car after I left work. I was like, that's enough. I'm surprised it actually didn't happen sooner here in Florida. I feel like we're getting heat later in the year than normal. Are you guys experiencing that? Anyway, let's try this on. I'm gonna speed through the application. I pretty much get the same look out of this palette every single time, so I know what I'm gonna go into. I'm gonna do this all over. This is gonna go into the crease, this brown shade here. This more burgundy one is gonna go in the outer corner, and I like this shimmer the best. It's a little bit thicker. This particular shimmer right here is on the lighter side, and I have tried it. I do like them all, but I really, really prefer this one. So that's the look we're gonna build today. Like I said, I'm gonna speed through this portion, but here we go.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you. I can't wait. Our first time, our first date. You're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. Praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on.
And that is it, you guys. It is such an easy, simple look. Like I said, these shadows don't overblend. They seem to blend into one another pretty easily. I hope I'm getting these eye looks even. Sometimes I watch back my videos and I'm like, dude, I am so blind. Like without my glasses and when I'm like trying to look to apply my eyeshadow, sometimes I do not do an even application and I think it looks good, but I'm doing it from so far away that it's kind of hard to tell. I think it's pretty even. I might not have gotten it as dark kind of on this side. Well, that's the way it goes. But I think that overall the shadows perform superb. I actually struggle with cool tone shadows. If you guys have ever seen any of my videos, I do talk a lot about warmer tone shadows just being like something that I prefer on my skin tone, and I think that they blend a little bit better. I usually have issues with cooler tone shadows being a little bit patchy. I mean, I definitely have hooded eyes and like extra skin, and so, you know, kind of when I'm blending, I feel like cooler tone shadows have a tendency to like drag and just look noticeably skippy sometimes. This is probably my favorite cool tone eyeshadow palette that I've ever tried, ever. And I don't experience the same issues with these cool tone shades that I do with other cool tone shades and other palettes. So if you guys were thinking about getting this and you were eyeing it, I'm even thinking about going back to the Ulta website and like picking up the 2 other color stories in the larger palettes. Actually, there was one other one that was the pink one that I was thinking about getting, also in the smaller one. If I did not mention this before, this one is called Embedded in Burgundy, and the larger warmer tone palette is called Future Flame. Absolutely tremendous outer packaging, very, very sturdy, and it's not just the packaging, the quality inside and the shadows perform great. So like I said, if you were thinking about getting them, pull the trigger. I think that they're really, really good, and I do not think you will be disappointed if you picked those up. So let's go into the foundation. This is a foundation that's supposed to be like revolutionary, 3-drop weightless serum foundation. I will be linking all of these products below, but if you're interested in seeing like a dedicated video and wear test on this, it is on my channel, like I said. This is supposed to be a long-lasting hydrating formula. It's supposed to be 3 drops gets you your whole complexion, and you press the bottom and you squeeze out 3 drops. I actually didn't like how 3 drops looked on me last time. I don't think it's a revolutionary formula by any means. It looked kind of like a satin finish foundation, but I'm actually interested in testing this product with less drops. So I'm gonna do, I think probably 2 this time, and I'm gonna do them smaller. This product just kind of comes out on its own. It's a pretty liquidy formula, so I'm just gonna use that on my whole complexion. That's all I'm going to use, and you will see how much this foundation really truly does carry. I'm actually just gonna go in with a dry sponge and bounce this in.
There was once a day that
I did mention in that video that this is supposed to be like a really luminous foundation, but I found it, like, even though it had glow to it and luminosity, I still thought that it was like a satin finish. I mean, on me. I mean, you can see the glow. It's on my cheeks. It's really on the high points of my face. You saw the teeny tiny bit that I put on my finger went the whole way. I use like a full pump when I usually get this much coverage. So I will give this foundation that. I just don't necessarily love how heavy it tends to look, especially when I went in with the 3 drops. So I'm really interested in testing out whether or not the 2 drops is kind of like the sweet spot on this coverage. So let's let it sit. We'll see if it sinks in, and let's move on into the Natasha Denona concealer. It was supposed to be that Natasha had 1 shade for a corrector, and if in that shade that worked for you, you had a matching concealer shade. I didn't even pay attention to that when I bought it. I got mine in the shade N3, which I think just stands for neutral 3, and then I ended up picking up a cool toned color of the corrector. I just thought the corrector was a little bit of a thicker, like stickier formula, but I thought this one in the concealer was a little bit thinner and it didn't sink into my fine lines. This one has one of those reservoir tips. I definitely feel like I need something under the eyes. Every time I do cool tone shadows, I feel like if I don't brighten under my eyes, it doesn't look good. It makes me look like a little dark or sick or something. Those of you that are fair skinned, do you ever feel like that? I kind of feel like that is why I really love warm toned shadows on me, is just because of my fair skin. This concealer ain't half bad. I would say though that it's not my absolute favorite. It doesn't look like perfecting under the eyes. You know how some concealers, you just throw them on and you're like, I don't know what voodoo and formula is in that, but it just seems to perfect everything. I don't find this concealer perfecting. It's a decent amount of coverage. It doesn't seem to sink into my fine lines. So it is a middle of the road concealer for me at this point. I don't think I'm gonna end up decluttering it once I'm done testing it. I just powdered with the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. This one is an Ethereal Light. I'm re-loving this powder. I've had this for, I think, probably 2 years, and it got pushed into the back of my drawer, but as I'm getting into more pressed powders recently, this is one that I've been reaching for. I actually think it's really good for dry skin. So yeah, loving that one. Let's go into the Color Fix Nudes from Danessa Myricks. This is a liquid pigment. You can use it for eyes, you can use it for lips, you can use it for cheeks. So you can use it as a contour, you can use it as a bronzer. I picked up mine in the shade Nude 3. I've only tested this like once, honestly. It's a really long-lasting formula. If you've ever tried Danessa Myricks' Color Fix formula, the most long-lasting kind of staining product. I went in, I feel like, a little bit heavy last time, and so I want to just go in with like a lighter application this time. I just put a tiny dot on the back of my hand, I rubbed it in with my finger, and I'm bouncing my sponge in. So I'm basically picking up like the least amount of product. Actually, I think it looks really beautiful. I'm using this as like more of a contour shade, so I'm putting it in the hollows of my cheek as opposed to like up here as a bronzer, because this is a shade that I feel like would be really good for fair skin tones in a contour, and it's really, really neutral. So I do like this. I do like the Color Fix. I did mention when I tried this last time that I think this might be a product where it's not gonna be your super easy application. So when you're on the go and you're moving and jamming and whatever, and I'm trying not to sound like a mom, but I think that you might not wanna reach for something like this. But this, what I just did now, was a lot faster. I'm looking at this foundation and I can't help but think like, man, it just looks so dry. And I keep getting dumbfounded by the fact that it calls itself a weightless serum foundation, where I feel like it's just heavy and dry. I don't know, man. I'm getting an itch to put on some lashes. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm gonna throw on some of the Eyeliner pre-glued lashes really quickly because I wanna come back and try on the blush. I have such a love-hate relationship with lashes. These ones are the pre-glued kind, like I showed you. So they're a little bit heavier, like on the band itself. This time I was actually able to get the lash on with just the glue that's on it. I didn't have to add any. I have had to like add some in the past, so I did have it here like ready and waiting. I don't know. I mean, they're so beautiful, but like every band sits differently on my lashes. I don't know. Love-hate relationship. Let's go into the Danessa Myricks Line Work Liner, because I do need to like fill in right here. I noticed with like the thinner bands, I kind of have to go over the lash, but then the thicker ones, I kind of need to fill in the inner corner here. So far, I really like this eyeliner. I did mention when I first tried it, like I never used to get giddy about eyeliners, but I am now because I'm wearing so many more false lashes, and I really do like to just kind of fill in. But this one is a really matte black. It dries down almost instantly. It also gives you enough time to really work on the product, because sometimes I'm just sitting there for a minute and I'm really trying to get the perfect line, and I'm not great at it. So sometimes I am working a little bit harder, and this one just seems to layer on top of itself really nicely. So it's actually a really good liner. I don't think it's super expensive. I think it retailed for $18, which for a luxury brand eyeliner, that's pretty good. Plus you can get a really precise tip with this. So anyway, I think that that is pretty good. I want to finish up the eyeshadow. So I'm going to take this burgundy shade and put it in the outer corner. I am going to go into this like lighter, cooler tone burgundy shade in the inner corner, and I'm really just going to smoke it out so that we can go into the Give Beauty eyeliner in the waterline. So that was quick and easy. Let's go into the Line It Up 24-Hour Gel Eyeliner from Give Beauty. This one is in the shade Thunderbolt. It's like a metallic shade, and it's like on the gray side. The first time I used this, I noticed it's really creamy, but it wasn't like depositing into my waterline. So I just warmed it up a little to see if that helps. Basically the same result. I just don't like these. I don't know why they don't deposit good pigment into the waterline. The way that they look on a swatch on your hand, it's just, I don't know. Something about that eyeliner is just really off, and I don't have any other eyeliners that do quite what that one does. I have two of these. I have one in Thunderbolt, which is like a shimmery one, and I have another one that is like in a kind of an army green shade, both kind of a shimmery finish. I'm just not enjoying these. Let's go into this L'Oreal Infallible blush. This one is in Pearlless Coral. It's supposed to be a soft matte blush. It feels just like the bronzer, very bouncy, very creamy. It's really vibrant, really punchy shade. I'm just gonna barely tap into this, I think. And then really just tap off my brow. Oh yeah, hello. That is some pigment. Well, I think L'Oreal did it again. Same great formula as the bronzer. This is super pigmented. It's very, very creamy. It's not like the most inexpensive thing in the world. I think L'Oreal has like a pretty high price point on this particular blush. I think a lot of people in comments on Instagram were saying that, but it's still a great formula, really pigmented. I would say though that you're gonna wanna, whatever brush you use, kind of just bounce it in. It's not an overly blendable formula. It packed exactly where I put it on this cheek. The color is beautiful though. I remember the bronzer being pretty long lasting and a super good neutral shade. So I already like that one. The very final product that I want to go into is the Afterglow Sensual Shine Lipstick from NARS. Like I said, I had this for a while. This is in Dolce Vita. I think I have tried this on when I ordered it in the same day delivery from Sephora. I couldn't help myself put it on because it was such a beautiful shade. I remember this formula being shiny and glossy and very, very pretty, like a very creamy lipstick. But when I was sitting there hanging out with my family applying this, it didn't stay very long. Meaning, I kept reapplying it over and over and over again, just kind of sitting there talking with my family, because it's got a beautiful glossy shine, but it doesn't last very long. It's like a cross between a balm and a cream lipstick, but it's such a super thin formula. It's comfortable, like it's good. It's a good product. It just doesn't last that long, at least on me. I don't regret buying it though. I think you would really like this. It's very, very comfortable, like a balm. Has a little bit of a tint. I mean, this shade is on the lighter side anyway, but I think this is kind of a more sheer formula, just in general. But I do like this, and I think that if you like this kind of thinner, balm-like formula that's almost like a cream lipstick, you would really enjoy that. I did forget to throw on a highlighter, and I'm gonna do it now. I'm just gonna use the Wet n Wild Mega Glow. I picked this up at the drugstore not that long ago because I've been getting more into like liquid highlighters lately. This one is in the shade Halo Goodbye, and because I've been enjoying like this doe foot applicator like style for liquid highlighters, I saw this when I was picking up something else. I think I was like looking for a lip oil at the drugstore or something, and I was like, yep, I'm gonna get it. And so far I really like it. It's more on the natural side, but these Mega Glow products, most of them I really love, and I did test this on camera already. So it's just really light, but it doesn't ever look like a stripe. It just looks kind of natural on my skin, like it was meant to be there. That was everything. So these are fantastic. I'm probably gonna end up picking up more of the palettes from this launch, the Connect in Color, because I think the formula is tremendous. I just love the way that these apply. I always get a look that I'm like really kind of obsessed with. I think that they are some of my favorite formulas that I tried this year in 2023. I could see my ranking of these coming up. They're gonna be significantly high in the ranking because I just think that they're that good. So yeah, if you guys are interested in getting these, so good. So I will be linking them below. I think the NARS is really good. I think the eyeliner is really good. I think the blush is really good on the higher price point for L'Oreal. I would say though that if you have dry skin, skip the Natasha Denona concealer. I don't find it do anything special on my under eyes. And it's like, because it's kind of this medium weight, it's the iffy kind of concealer for me. I'm like, are you good? Are you not good? Are you, like, I'm side-eyeing the concealer is what's happening. I think this is a good launch from Danessa Myricks. I like the way this looks. I don't think this is a product that you need. I'm just saying that because I think you need these eyeshadow palettes. I don't want to harp on this too much because I have a dedicated video on it. I just think that 3 drops is good. I don't think it's weightless. I don't necessarily feel like it is serum-like when it gets to the face. I think it's more of a satin finish, and I feel like it's on the drier side, especially for someone who has dry skin. Well, that is a wrap, you guys. I am out of here. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Carrie. I hope you consider subscribing. I love being here and doing this. I hope you guys enjoy it too. I am out of here, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye, guys.